What up, what up, what up, y'all? How are y'all doing this evening? I hope that you are doing well, as I am myself. Now, just a little disclaimer, y'all. I do have on my space heater um, in my office. My office does not insulate heat very well, and it is cold here where I am, and I do have my heater on. So, if it's making too much noise or it's giving like feedback or anything, y'all just let me know and I'll turn it down so it can't be heard. But without further ado, because I don't plan on being up here too much longer than maybe 30, 40 minutes or so, just because I do have a couple things going on this evening, but I did want to hop up here and do somewhat of a part three, if you will, to my live streams that I did last night. So, yeah. So let's get this party started, shall we? All right. Now, as the title says, I know y'all are wondering, like, does this girl have some kind of tea or something about Chrissy and her baby daddy number 10? I will just say, no, I do not. However, I have discernment and foresight, is what I do have. So let's get into it, shall we? Hey, the truth girl. Hey, girl. Hey. I hope you're having a good evening as well. Can you believe, listen, before we get into everything, let's just have a regular combo. Can y'all believe that it's about to be 2024? Seriously, because I cannot. What in the hell happened to 2023? Wasn't it just January like 2 weeks ago? I mean, I don't know. Listen, my grandma used to always tell me the older you get, the faster time flies. And I never understood what she was saying. But now being 33 years old, I'm like, what is happening? Girl, with the quickness. I don't know what's going on, but in a couple days we're gonna be in 2024. So there's that. Now, with all that being said, right? We are rolling into another year. Hopefully, most of us with common sense are doing things differently than we did 10 years ago, right? Even things differently than we did 1 year ago. We're doing things different, but unfortunately, for most of these mommies, all of these mommies in this damn sector, especially Chrissy, they are finding themselves coming into a new year with the same shit. So let's get into the title, right? So I wanna see if y'all were paying attention the way I was. When Chrissy did that live, I know last night I talked about some other things related to that, but when Chrissy was talking about her relationship with Bay, right? Quote unquote engineering Bay. Did y'all pay attention to her verbiage about the relationship? Like, did you really read between the lines on the way she described the relationship? Let me know if you peeped that. The truth, you the only one in here, girly. Did you peep some of the stuff that she said about the relationship? I'm gonna pause just to see what you say. And then I'll get into some of the stuff that I picked up on. Right. So while you give a minute to give that answer, I'm gonna get into what I noticed, right? So she said a few things, right? One of the first things she said was, Timmy's looking at the troll comment. Listen, okay, that's cool. Listen, that's understandable because most of the time, if I do ever rewatch a lie that Chrissy does, that's what I'm looking at too. I'm trying to see the trolls. Well, I won't even call them trolls. I'm trying to see the people who are telling the truth and calling her out versus her mods that kiss her ass trying to delete everything. But so the things that I noticed that she said, right? One of the things she said was, I don't know if we'll even live in this, if we'll ever live in the same state, right? That's clue number one for me that something is off because anyone, you don't even have to have kids, right? I won't even go as far as to just say it just only women with kids would understand, but anybody with common sense would know, why would you say something like that? right? I don't know if we'll ever live in the same state. What do you mean you don't know if you'll ever live in the same state as the father of your 10th child? What are you talking about, Chrissy? Who says something like that? Right? She also said that she doesn't know what the future holds for her and her bae. Excuse me? Wait a minute. Let's back up. So you're pregnant with your 10th child by this man, and you get up here and say that you don't know if y'all will ever live in the same state and you don't know what the future holds for y'all? Hold on. Me personally, based on my experiences in life, that doesn't make sense for a woman to say about a man who she is actively and currently with. Right? Is that not off to anybody else? That's one of the main, like two of the main things that stood out to me. It's almost as though she knows that this isn't going to work. Either she knows it's not going to work, right? She knows that it started off on shaky footing, or he's probably already straight up told her, like, listen, this is not what it was supposed to be. This is not what it's going to be. It just seems like she knows something about the relationship not being able to have the longevity. Like we all knew, right? We all knew this, but it's like she knows it, but she's trying to get ahead of it. And knowing Chrissy, right, she has the gift of gab. She's a fast talker. She somewhat knows how to jump in front of things, how to frame things, right, that she knows is going to end up coming up and making her look stupid down the pipeline. But before it makes her look stupid, she'll make some sort of foremention of it ever so slightly, right? She won't come out and say it, but she'll skate around it a little bit. So that way when it does come out, it's not such a gotcha. You know, she doesn't feel like she has egg on her face, even though she still ends up looking fucking stupid. Yes, truth. Okay. So yeah, so it's like she knows he isn't trying to commit, and it is weird. It's like she knows something. And which is why I titled this live the way I titled it, because I bet y'all, right? I bet he's already told her, listen, this is not what it's going to be. I want something to do with my child. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Or she knows what this is, right? Chrissy is a lot of stuff, but she's not stupid, right? She's stupid in the regular sense of the word, right? Because she's foolish, but she knows what's up. She's been around the block plenty of times to know how this works with these men. I guarantee you, Chrissy knows, or that man has given her some kind of heads up that he's not going to be around like that. Because saying, I don't know if we'll ever live in the same state. I don't know what the future holds for us, which granted, right? Nobody knows what the future holds. None of us do. But for you to use it in the context of you're allegedly newly pregnant, because I honestly believe she's been pregnant. I'll get into that in a little bit. But for you to already sort of be in the mind frame of, I don't know what the future holds for us, like that's some shit you say when you've been in a relationship for a little while and y'all have been through some ups and downs and you just don't know. But somebody that you're really just meeting and you're freshly pregnant by, and you're already saying that, to me, that's signaling all kinds of shit. Hey, my 2 cents girl, what's up? My 2 cents says she might be trying to distance herself from him so the hoes won't mess this up. And it could be that. It could be that. But I honestly, I don't know. That could definitely be a very valid reason why she did that. But I honestly think that she's distancing herself from him because low key he's already distancing himself from her. Right? And I've seen a couple of people posting his Facebook profile and his social media profiles. I have seen already people DMing him about who she is and all this other kind of stuff. I don't know. Maybe a female friend or female family member of his has stepped to him and said, listen, you fucked up. Right? Somebody with some fat on their head and some sense in their brain stepped to him and said, yeah, this ain't it. Maybe that happened, right? Of course, we'll really never truly know because Chrissy is a big ass liar, and she's never gonna really come out and say what's what until it gets to a point where she really doesn't have feelings like him like that for him like that anymore, right? That's exactly what happened with her and DeMarcus. This whole time, DeMarcus is Mr. This, he's this and this and that, and a mechanic and all this other kind of stuff, and paid for her ring. And then it comes out that he's a bum, he doesn't work, and she bought the ring from Walmart with her own money. I mean, only time will tell. I will say that. But that is the reason I titled this live the way I did, because I wanted to see, I'm like, I wonder who else heard what I heard. Right? Who else used the context clues and understood that she wasn't just saying that, she's saying that for a purpose. Mark my words, this is going to come full circle, right? And those two things that she said are going to actually make sense in due time. Maybe not right now, but I just wanted to make it clear that I heard that shit, Chrissy. I heard it. I heard it loud and clear. It's abundantly clear to me exactly what the hell you meant and what you were talking about. But anyway, right? Moving on. Did y'all also catch her fun fact? I found it to be so funny that a quote unquote fun fact that she had is, oh, I had most of my baby daddy's first child. What? So let me get this straight. So it's a flex to have a man's first baby? Since when? Since how stupid do you sound? First of all, the way you even had to frame it. Fun fact, most of my baby daddies, most of it, for you to even have to fix your lips to say most of my baby daddies, you shouldn't really have any more than one or two. But for you, it's a flex to have somebody's first baby. I don't understand what the flex is for. For what? For what? Especially when it doesn't even matter because they all left you and their firsts high and dry. No? Definitely should be embarrassed. I mean, and this is how you know there's something mentally off with Chrissy, because she gets up here and she talks about stuff that no other sane woman would even feel comfortable enough sharing with the general public. Not even the general public wouldn't be comfortable sharing with a few people. And she gets up here in front of thousands of people and says stuff just regular. That's how you know it's something off in the head with her. It's not a flex to have somebody's first child, especially when you've had multiple firsts. You had the first of six babies. Ma'am, Chrissy, if you don't get your ass somewhere and sit the hell down, like, I don't understand it, right? So, me personally, I decided to be a one and done, right? I had my one child and I sat my ass down somewhere. And the main reason for that is because with my child, I put 200% into raising her. Not even 100, 200%, right? Into raising her. I can't see myself having more than just one child and having to put all that effort into each individual personality, each individual wants and needs and likes, all of that kind of stuff, right? And this is why this goes back into my live from yesterday, where I talk about Chrissy's kids not really being happy. Those kids are not happy. Those kids are neglected on a whole different level. Yeah, they may have a roof to sleep under now, and they barely have a stable one of those, but their mom can't cater to them. She probably doesn't know their individual likes and wants, probably on surface level. Like she may know one like video games, one like this, one like these kind of socks, one like this color, stuff like that. But does she really know her kids? Absolutely not. There is no way that a single mother of 9 children knows all of her children, especially not her son Cash. He doesn't even live with her. He hasn't lived with her in quite some time. So she definitely doesn't know those kids. But having all these kids, whether you're single or not, in my opinion, it's just a hot ass mess. It is the fastest way to instability. And this is Chrissy's life. Not even just Chrissy, right? While we're on the topic, look at Liv, look at Jazz. These women, year after year, do the same shit. It would be one thing if these women made these mistakes, right? But every year you see them improve. Every year you see them doing something different, maybe going back to school, maybe getting a certification, you know, not having any more kids, really focusing on themselves and their families, right? But this is not what's happening. It's the same shit every year. I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. I love my baby daddy. I love him. I love him. I love him. I hate my baby daddy. He left me. He left me. He left me. Well, I'm a strong single mom. Like, y'all don't get tired of being a strong single mom. And I say this as a, I guess, quote unquote, former single mother, right? My one and only child. I am not with my child's father, biological father. I surely am not. However, I am married to her stepfather, who's an amazing father to her, and we're raising her. That's it. That's all. All this, I can't imagine laying on my back for multiple different men. I cannot. And having kids by every single last one of them. And that's what my life is. And Chrissy and Jazz can sit up here all they want and try to front and flex on women working 9 to 5s all they want to. But the reality is, at least women working 9 to 5 are working towards something they built for themselves. They may be working in their career field where they worked hard to get their degree, right? I'd rather be a 9 to 5er than being able to say that the only way I'm able to sustain myself and my kids is by having more and more children so that I can live on public assistance my entire life. Come on, man. Virgo Doll says, I agree. Not Lil Baby. You know what? I have not seen the baby. Now, I have heard conversations and discourse around the baby's appearance. I have. I have been hearing people saying the baby looks oriental to them, like some sort of Asian or Chinese descent child. I don't know. Um, but I haven't seen the child. Oh Lord. No, right. Having all these kids for no damn reason because for what? What's the reward? I don't care what, if anybody wants to get up here and explain to me, right, and give me the rationale behind having so many children, please explain it. I'll wait. And I certainly won't cut you off. I'm not going to cuss you out, block you, whatever. I really want to legitimately understand the mindset of people who feel the need to populate the world. I just don't understand it. Even I don't know if y'all watch TLC like that, but have y'all seen that show? I believe it's called Doubling Down with the Derricos or something like that. My bad, y'all. I had to drink some Pinot Grigio. But if y'all are not familiar with it, there is a show called Doubling Down with the Derricos, and it consists of a husband and a wife. I want to say they have like 12 children or something like that. But even with, I don't even care about her being married. Even with her having a husband who works and who brings in, I'm assuming, a significant income, she looks crazy as fuck to me. I'm sorry. She looks like a mad woman to sit up there and get pregnant back to back like that and have all those children. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care who you're married to, who you're with. When people sit there and pop out 5, 6, 7 children, you look insane to me. What's up, princess? Do you think Strong Mommy Chrissy gets food stamps? And if so, how much do you... Number one, I don't think she gets food stamps. I know she gets food stamps. A person would have to be a fool to believe that anybody who is a single parent who has all those children do not get food stamps. So yeah, I know she gets food stamps. Honestly, how much she gets, I don't know. I have no idea. I know, I'll say this. I have a cousin. Listen, we all have we all have a cousin or two that remind us of Chrissy. She doesn't have 10 kids, but she has 5 kids. I know for a fact, and she is in Florida. So, and I know the state's caps are different, right? But I know for Florida, she has 5 kids. So she's a family of 6 because she's single. She gets about $1,400 in food. I want to say it's either 1,400 or 1,500, something to that effect. in food stamps. I mean, so that's the best way I can answer that. I know that probably didn't answer the direct question about Chrissy, but again, every state is different, but she's definitely, yeah. If she's on food stamps or not, abso-fucking-lutely. What's up, Scarlett? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, Brand. How y'all doing this evening? The truth said rationale. I mean, please give me the rationale, somebody. I just don't see it. I don't care if I had the best man in the world. I'm not about to sit up and get pregnant by no man, no 6 and 7 and 8 times. I'm not going to do it twice. Are you kidding? And maybe that's just my own vanity, right? I am very much a woman who loves experiences in life. I love the finer things in life. Now, I'm not saying I'm richy rich and I'm a millionaire and I fly on private jets. Absolutely not. But do I travel 3 to 4 times a year? Absolutely. Do I take my child traveling 2 to 3 times a year? Absolutely. And I'm able to afford it and do it because I have one. Um, I just can't imagine giving up so much, and it's already sacrificial, right? All the mamas out there who have one child, even with the one, it's difficult. There is so much sacrifice in time and just everything. So I can't imagine for me doing that multiple times. Absolutely not. Chrissy getting food. Yeah, she's definitely on Section 8. And that was my thought process too, Scarlett. Um, Especially seeing the inside of this house. She's definitely on Section 8, probably on some kind of emergency Section 8. You know what I mean? But she definitely didn't buy that damn house. Like I keep seeing people talking about Chrissy bought a house, and I'm like, y'all are still stupid. Y'all still don't realize this girl is a goddamn lie. That girl didn't buy that house. She is on Section 8. Period, point blank, in the story. Lit girl. Princess, I'm trying to tell you. I would give and listen, I'm not even gonna say it because that it's a crime. But long story short, yes, my cousin would sometimes hook me up with some stamps because I'm like, listen, I wish I had food stamps. You get to go into the store and throw anything in your cart without thinking about it. But me, on the other hand, if I want a certain kind of rice, I have to stop, take my time, and look and see how much it costs. Like, I know how much food costs because I have to pay attention. My cousin, if you ask her how much a loaf of bread or milk is, as much as she buys those items, she don't know because she doesn't have to think about it. So that's why when I see like that one video that Chrissy did when she took all her kids to the grocery store, which it was only a select few of them because she can't fit all of them in that Tesla. But when she took all her kids to the grocery store and she's like, I let them do stuff like this every now and again. I just let them throw things in the cart. Well, you can do that. You don't have to think about it because the state is paying for them. Federal taxes are paying for your kids to eat. You don't have to look. You're not paying for it. I don't get why they don't use any form of birth control. Bryn, and this is my exact point, right? And I feel like My Two Cents made this point as well in one of her reaction videos where she was saying, shout out to My Two Cents, by the way. Um, when she was saying that Chrissy coming up here talking about using the rhythm method, oh, I was tracking my ovulation so I wouldn't get pregnant. That's bullshit. Like, especially nowadays when there is literally birth control everywhere. You don't even have to make a doctor's appointment to get it. You can literally walk into Walgreens, no questions asked, and get a plan B if you think you messed up. Um, there are some health departments where you can walk in with no appointment and just say that you need birth control pills and they will give them to you with no questions asked. So there's just too much on the market and even off the market, right? There's stuff for free. There are free resources. You don't have to get pregnant if you don't want to. So when people, especially people at Chrissy's big grown ass age, get pregnant and they say stupid stuff like, oh, well, you know, this wasn't expected. Get the fuck out of here. It was very expected and very planned. Yeah, she's definitely on the Section 8 voucher, Virgo doll. It, The truth, girl. Listen, are you my spirit twin? No, but you're right. Have that, and that's why I made the point when I said, married or not, women look crazy as hell having all these kids. I'm sorry, because it's true. Women are the default parent, right? Women are the default parent. It is what it is, right? Gender roles aside, blah 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 aside, women are automatically the default parent. When things go wrong, they expect you to get off work and take off time and take that child to the doctor, right? When the child needs clothes, when they need this, when they need that, they're looking for mama. They're not looking for daddy. They're looking for you to do it, right? What's that old Southern saying goes? Mama's baby, daddy's maybe, right? People, no, the mothers are the default parent. Now, that's not to say that there are not exceptions to the rule. There are always exceptions to the rule. There are always men out there who actually are fantastic partners, great parents. Their wives don't have to, bear the brunt of the responsibility of raising the children. That does exist. However, we're not talking about the exceptions. We're talking about the typical scenario. And typically, right? Especially when we're talking about Chrissy, women are the default parent, period. That's it. My kids already know we're on a, but listen, and I'm sure your kids know that, princess, because you're not out. They have to know, right? Just like my child has to know. She knows she can't go as much as she tries it, right? She knows that she cannot just walk in the grocery store and just start throwing stuff in my cart, because she knows that, number one, first thing I'm going to do is say, what's that? Right? Let me see what that is. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to say, where you get this from? I'm going to see how much it is, and it's either a yay or nay. Now, I will also say this, right? Because I don't need any Chrissy supporters coming under my video talking about, oh, don't get mad because you have to skimp on your child's food. Listen, I don't have to skimp on my child's food. I don't skimp on majority of the time, whatever she asks for, she gets it, right? Um, Thank goodness I make the money that I make. I have a pretty lucrative career. So most of the time, food isn't an issue. However, just because I make good money doesn't mean I'm just going to throw it away and just do whatever, right? I don't care that I make $102,000 a year, right? I'm still going to look and say, that pack of meat costs $2 less than the other pack. So I'm going to get $2 cheaper pack. Friend Gable, I have one son with a husband and a beautiful bonus daughter. I was done. I plan to have our son. They are both college grad. That is so good, Brent. See, but Bryn, but when we're talking about you, right? Look at the way that you did your life, right? You had one partner, one consistent partner. You had one child, and he had one bonus daughter. So of course your kids turned out great, right? That's awesome though. 43, that is a blessing. It truly is. Listen, I stay on budget, Scarlett. I don't care what's going on. I stay on budget. I don't care how good my bank account is sitting. I am not going over budget. And this is my thing. And this time I know Chrissy doesn't really have money like that, like she claims. Because number one, most people that are used to a certain level of wealth, you can see it on them without seeing it on them, if that makes sense. Right? Most people in my circle, and we make pretty good money. I mean, me and my tight circle of friends together probably make about 300K combined. I mean, we make pretty good money. Um, but it shows up on us in a different way, right? It looks different on us. We're not around here. And this not to say that people that are wealthy don't like name brands. I'm not saying that. But most of the time, people that are wealthy, you see it on them in a different way. You're not going to see them with Moschino, big, goofy looking ass purses and Louis Vuitton picture frames. Okay, like Chrissy, it's just I brag different. Yeah. Let's see. Chatter about your bag. She didn't have one in Texas. Yeah, I can tell she didn't have one in Texas, and that is why I feel like in Texas, out of all the states that she lived in, she bounced around the most. because she didn't have a voucher, because she really was just trying to kind of raw dog it in the sense of just paying rent up front without help. And that's how she was getting caught a lot with those CPNs and doing all the scamming she was doing. I feel like she had it in Vegas, but yeah, that's probably the case. That's probably right. But yeah, I mean, y'all, I just really wanted to come up here and just see where everybody else's head was at as far as what Chrissy said about her relationship, right? Um, Let me recap for those who came in late. I don't know if we'll ever live in the same state. I don't know what the future holds for us. Your 10th baby daddy, and you still talking about you don't know what the future holds. Patricia, what's up? What's up? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Yeah, y'all, it's crazy. This girl will never change, right? And while we're talking about her, let's get into jazz a little bit. I think I'll be doing an injustice and a disservice if I didn't pounce on her a little bit too, because what the hell does she got going on? Listen, if Chris left, just say that. Just say that. Oh, hold on. I'm distracted. Because Scarlett just made a good point. I think he wanted her to get rid of it. Yes, related to Chrissy. Yes. The way she got up here and was so smug on that part 2 of her pregnancy test result video. And yeah, we had the talk and he wants to keep it. No, he didn't. He didn't want you to keep that baby. At least somebody with sense wouldn't have wanted you to keep that baby. I believe that's also an option, Scarlett. But yeah, that may be another reason why she used that verbiage and why she's trying to distance herself from him. It's very possible. The truth is going to come out. Trust. It always does. Girl, listen, we're already at the end of the year. I mean, and for what it's worth, right? And so this is just my theory on this, right? I have another theory. I honestly feel like Chrissy has been pregnant, to be honest. Um, I think Chrissy has been pregnant. I think she's been pregnant for at least a couple months by now. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if Chrissy pops up with a video about her labor and delivery story in April or May, to be honest. What y'all think about that? While y'all tell me what y'all think, I'm going to take a sip of my Pinot Grigio. Mm. Ooh, that's good. Scarlett, she's probably 4 or 5 months. Yeah, I would put her there. I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like she's been pregnant a lot longer than she's letting on. Um, and for people that are going to say, well, we saw her drinking. We saw her drinking. Yeah, well, Chrissy also drank on camera when she was pregnant with Onyx. She definitely was drinking. So that's not a surprise. Or she also could have been drinking mocktails, right? You can get the mocktails in the restaurants, make them up like they're drinks, but not Chrissy ass was drinking. I wouldn't be surprised though. But yeah, I think she's about 4 or 5 months pregnant for sure. Um, yeah, that wouldn't be surprising to me at all. And so, with all of that being said, right, we shall see how things play out. I don't think things are going to go the way that Chrissy thinks they're going to go, right? I think Chrissy, in her mind, and, you know, just kind of piggybacking off what my 2 cents said in her video, I think Chrissy thinks she got her big one, right, with this guy. She thinks that she got her big one. She's finally got this guy who does more than street stuff, um, and actually seems, and I say seems, I emphasize seems, right? Because he's still a fucking student who seems like he has a bright future. And she said, "Oh, let me grab him up right quick. Let me do this." And honestly, and y'all let me know what you think about this too. I wouldn't put it past Chrissy if once she has this baby, she treats this new baby like her golden goose. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all have ever encountered women that do stuff like this, but I have seen many times where a woman will have a lot of kids or maybe just one kid from a dude that's a total bust, right? He's a complete bum or he's completely inactive. Um, and then they get pregnant again by a guy who's seemingly decent, right? By a guy that is nothing like the other guy or guys. And then she treats that child accordingly, right? She treats that child like the golden child, like that's just the one. And actually, we probably all seen it. Let me use an example, and y'all might end up laughing at me. Have y'all ever seen the movie? And y'all better had, or I'm gonna take y'all black card. Boys in the Hood, right? Do you remember the relationship dynamic between Ice Cube's character Doughboy, right? And his brother Ricky. Y'all know Ricky. Ricky ran as fast as he could and still got his ass shot in the back. But do y'all remember that dynamic, right? How the mom adored Ricky. Ricky was her golden child, her football player, her this and her that, because of her relationship with Ricky's father. Apparently, Ricky's father was this guy that had a lot of potential and that really treated her well, bought her the house that they live in, all this stuff. But then you have Doughboy, who's her first son, her eldest son, whom she should love so much, and absolutely despised him and treated him different, all because of who his father was, because his father was a bum, right? And I'm not saying that Chrissy goes to those extremes, right? Which I don't really know what extreme she goes to because none of us live in that house with her. But my point being is, I really can see Chrissy treating this 10th baby like her golden child because of who his father is. And it's sad for her other kids because they didn't choose who their fathers were. Chrissy, you chose them niggas. That's about right. My daughter is 5. Aw. Well, congratulations, princess, on your recent bundle. And she's doing April. I can see her doing something like that. Yep, to put everybody off. And she did mention in her live, that was something else I was going to mention, how she said that she wasn't going to answer questions about her due date just yet because she doesn't want people um, basically calling her on her shit. She doesn't want people saying, oh, well, you were with this person around that time. So, yeah, it definitely makes sense. Yes, Scarlett, golden child. I can definitely see her doing that. We met in college, both hold degrees, enjoyment. That is so. See, listen, Bryn, I'm trying to get like you when I grow up. I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying to be like you, my love. And thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Patricia, girl, can I call you Pat? You are right. And I'm definitely got some upcoming commentary about the Deja and Tim and Bria debacle. But yes, Deja does that same exact thing with Seven. She treats him like the golden child. I can recall earlier this year for both her oldest kids' birthdays, she didn't throw them a party or anything. She was off running, chasing behind Tim, trying to fuck on a married man. Meanwhile, she was posting pictures and a happy birthday caption for her kids. But meanwhile, Seven turns 1 and she throws this big, huge, extravagant party. Why? Because his father is Tim Anderson, MLB star. And it's really sad because people don't consider their children. This is what annoys me about women like this is because they don't think about their kids. They don't think how their actions impact their children's feelings. Your children are not just an extension of you. They're humans. They're completely separate humans from you. They have their own feelings, their own thoughts. He's talking about his education and job. Girl, listen. When she said, "Oh, and he's at a pivotal point in his career," ma'am, he's not at a pivotal point. He's at the undergraduate point. That's where he is. Okay. He's in undergrad. Okay? Um no, Chrissy, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not gonna happen. And again, this isn't me wishing anything bad on this guy, right? Um, I hope he is successful. Good for him. Who am I to say that I hope he isn't? However, she is putting too much, she's putting too much coinage into something that may not even have a return investment. She's doing all this bragging about a nigga that has a job and that may end up with a bachelor degree. He might end up with one because like I said in my last video, until you walk across the stage and until you get an email that says your degree has been conferred, you are not out of the woods. And even if all that happens, you still have to get yourself out there in the workforce, working, making money. And again, even if all of that happens, he will never make enough to support 12 people. And in the back of his mind, he knows that. And I'm pretty sure by now, some other woman who has fat on her head and who loves him and cares about him has talked sense into him and has told him this by now. All right. Yes, you remember. Yes. Bryn said, we had that dialogue at the family table during Christmas as well as Color Purple. I feel what you're saying. Absolutely. Yeah, because it's true. That dynamic is real. And especially in any community, right? But I mean, I'm Black, so I'm going to talk about the Black community. In the Black community, that is so prevalent. And I think a lot of people don't realize that the golden child dynamic is real. I won't expose too much about myself, but I do work in a career where family dynamics is like my thing. Right? There's a name for every role in a family. You have the golden child, right? You have the scapegoat. You have the black sheep. And you have the jester. So those are, and look it up. You guys can look this stuff up. Listen, unlike Chrissy, I don't talk out of my ass. I'm actually very well educated. And if you look up everything I just said, it'll come up. I actually encourage y'all to do some research on it. So those are like the 3 or 4 different titles in family dynamics that children hold. And typically the jester is like the youngest child or the middle child, the child that has to be the comic relief for everyone in the family, right? The golden child is almost like the redemption child. Like that's the child that everyone looks up to as, oh my gosh, such and such did this. Anything they do is like gold to the parents, no matter what they do, right? Now, the thing with the golden child is that it can be the middle child, the youngest child, the oldest child. It really doesn't matter what order they come in. Anyone in that dynamic in a family can be that. But I encourage y'all to Google children's roles and family dynamics, or just Google golden child, scapegoat, jester. You get it. I'm not gonna bore y'all to death with that, but look it up. Oh, thank you, Pat. I appreciate it. Thank you. She is having a boy. His name is Cavello. Ooh, child. You give great analogies. Thank you, Bryn. Same with Jazzy. Listen, Legendary is definitely the golden child. And it shows and it's sad. It is because it's just like your other children, I don't know. I just feel like if you're gonna have other children, make sure that you're being conscious enough to understand the role that you're setting your other kids up to be in. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're in a situation where you are, like, let's say you have an older child or older children that have different fathers than whoever the golden child is. You have to be cognizant of how you're approaching that situation. I've even seen women in my family do it, where they golden child the baby of the guy who did right by them. And it's not that they necessarily discard or mistreat their other kids, but you can definitely tell that there's a difference in dynamic in the relationship. You know what I mean? And I really definitely believe that, related to Chrissy, right? Trying to stay on topic. She's gonna end up doing that with this 10th baby. This 10th baby is either gonna be the black sheep or the scapegoat, or it's going to be the golden child. I'm heavily leaning near the golden child. I honestly feel like her current youngest, Onyx, is her scapegoat baby. I really do. Because you have to remember, he was born into the middle of DeMarcus leaving her. and going to have a baby with Steffi. I really do believe that Onyx is her scapegoat. She has quite a few scapegoat black sheep children. Actually, I feel like Kingston is one of the black sheeps, but I'll probably do another video related to what I think Chrissy's kids fall into as far as their dynamics are concerned. That'll be a very interesting video. Our daughter has her PhD and deal with those kids on a day, and it's really sad, right? Um, it's really sad, Bryn, when you see it. When you work in that career field, you feel horrible, but it happens, right? This is the reason why, again, I'm not going to expose too much about what I do, but this is the reason why we do what we do, because those dynamics exist and they're damaging. Scarlett, absolutely. Girl, you know she got pregnant on purpose. Girl, listen, if Chrissy did not get pregnant on purpose, I'm a white woman. And I'm not. Oh boy, you saw the educate. Hey, listen, we can definitely be besties, girl. Yes, your girl is very, very well educated. And I can honestly say, even with having a fantastic husband and all of that, he's honestly not my biggest flex. I'm not a pick me. I'm not one of those girls that's my man, my man, my man. Like Chrissy and Jasmine and Liv. I can't be like that. Like, I love him and he is fantastic. But he's not my biggest flex. My child is my biggest flex, and these stacked up degrees on my wall is my biggest flex, to be really real with you. Let's see. I'm pretty sure Chris is working at Amazon. I worked there in the badge he probably does work at Amazon. Probably. It wouldn't be surprising. He gives me Amazon teas and vibes when I look at him. He looks like he throws boxes and packages. Oh yeah. Yes, ma'am, Bryn. Yeah, I mean, Chrissy is definitely a cake. Listen, I think I said this, I can't remember if it was my videos from last night or before, but I have always stood strong on Chrissy. You know what? You're giving me an idea. I have interns that are coming up behind me. They're the next generation of what I do. I just might use Chrissy's information without using her name, of course, omitting her name and other identifying factors. Just might use her in the next case study presentation with my interns. Just to see what they would say about her family dynamic and what they think the dynamic of the role that her kids play based on the order they were born in. That, you know what? Thank you, Bryn. Okay. She works at Amazon. So probably, yeah. Yeah. Um, Oh yeah, you said Chrissy. I thought you meant Chris Hips. No, yeah, Chrissy definitely works at Amazon. It would make sense. It would also make sense to how when she first started working, I don't know if you guys remember, she had like different guys on her story like every other week. It's a plethora of men that work at those warehouse jobs. And so they probably saw her little short ass come in there with wigs and lashes on and got impressed because, a lot of those men that work there are basic, just like her. So it wouldn't be surprising. Thank you, my love. Listen, being a Black woman in this world, we have to fight so many different battles every day. We have to fight to prove ourselves, not just to white society, right? Because society is, majority white, but we have to honestly fight to prove ourselves to our men, right? Um, Seeing us as equal and seeing us as worthy and that we're just as hard of workers as they are. So, can y'all hear me? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay, because somebody just called me again. I have my phone on do not. You know what? I think I know what's happening. I think that because that person is in my emergency list, their calls are still able to come through. You know how you can save people on your as your favorites on the iPhones? I think that's what's happening because no one else's calls have come through except for theirs. But I'm glad that y'all can still hear me. Good grief. Okay. I'll be wrapping this up soon. All right. Girl, listen. We have to try to keep some form of, being anonymous online as much as we can. So, yeah, girl, I hear you. Okay, y'all can hear me. Good, good, good. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much what all I wanted to get up here and say, y'all. I just wanted to give y'all more of like an in-depth, like what my thought process is about Chrissy. Listening to her verbiage, reading between the lines on these videos. Listen, I'm not I have been following her for a while because I like to watch train wrecks. My life isn't full of enough drama, so I have to sometimes siphon it from other places. But yeah, she doesn't have me fooled. So I have to make sure that I stay on her neck. We have, well, I won't say we lost Marisa Starr. I used to love Marisa. I don't know if y'all ever listened to her, but she used to stay on Chrissy's neck. I miss her. I mean, it is. It's a good feature to have. It is. I can't lie. So Scarlett, the long and short of it, I think that this guy is going to leave her. He's not going to stay. It's going to be the same result as all her other pregnancies. Um, and I think she's going to get up here with egg on her face, as she always does. She's probably going to try to give an explanation. And that's another thing that bugs me about Chrissy. She thinks that the more articulate she speaks, the smarter she sounds. But really, to someone like me, she sounds stupid, right? She just lets me know that she is using her voice to try to fool people who are stupid like her. But somebody like me, I see right through it. So that's what I think the outcome will be. He's going to leave her. She's going to be a single mom of 10. And honestly, if this guy is as decent as she's trying to make him seem, he might pull a fast one on her like Cash's dad did, and he might file for custody of that child and get that child out of the house. What you think about that? I think that might definitely be a possibility for sure. But either way, she's gonna have egg on her face and she's going to look very stupid. But y'all, I gotta get up out of here. I have some things I have to do for the rest of my evening. Brent said it's definitely entertaining. It's my guilty girl. Listen, it's mine too. I'm gonna finish off the rest of my Pinot Gris. Um, yeah. Once he becomes established and once he understands the mess he got himself into and the mess he got his child into, he's gonna take that child from her. This whole having a man who's intelligent, quote unquote intelligent, is gonna come back and bite her in the ass harder than she thinks it is. Um, for sure, for sure. Oh yeah, they definitely bozos. All right, y'all. But let me get off of here. Thank y'all for hanging with me tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure if you haven't already liked the video, you definitely like the video. If you haven't already subscribed, you do that too. And I will see y'all in the next video. Hope y'all have a good night. And I hope y'all have a safe and a very, very happy new year. Bye.